guards and the like, and then began moving into into the citadel itself, moving a little bit past the gatehouse. Damn it. Finding scraps of many material from the Sentinels of Moraz, but also shows of the Knoll presence that is currently still moseying about, hypothetically.
I believe we had exhausted all but the central route, so in we go.
Yep, you came to a crossroads of a. Oh, shit. Trying to no, I don't. Ah. Oh, that's yeah, there. But yes, you had the left route, the front route, and the right. Information that Kionada was able to give is that the right and front paths seem to have the most traffic between the three, and between the two, the front one has the most.
Okay. What do you think? Okay, so between the two, what now?
You have two. You're essentially at a intersection with a path to the front, a path to the left, and a path to the right. There is, with your investigation that you had made, or survival you had made, in order to determine which paths had the most foot traffic, the front path and the right path had the most traffic out of the three. And then out of the two that you know have traffic, the front one has the most traffic of the two. Roundabout way of saying front path has the most traffic, to your right is the second most, and the one to the left seems to have none.
Okay, let's go to the one to the left then. If they've encountered something they couldn't handle, it might be useful to us.
What makes you think it's something they couldn't handle? Mara pops up.
Well, if there's light and no traffic over there, either it's unpassable, or something at some point had been encountered that they couldn't handle, whether it be a creature or a locked door. Not that this place is very good with being super intact, but
yeah. An interesting suggestion. Yeah. If you would like to do that, you may. I just need to trying to get this page up. Slowly but surely. attacks.
I will advance, operating under his instructions.
Usual things, looking for traps and all that good stuff. Whew.
31, I'm sorry.
Alright. Ooh, 31! You see all the traps now. 31 was the exact DC. Is it? There we go. Alright. Alright. You make your way to the left. I assume a few paces in front of the party.
I try to stay about 30 feet ahead. That way they're more than likely out of AoEs.
Got it? So you move in, silently creeping amongst what's left of the sand that blew in from the outside. Ooh, connection, sir. Moving past what you can determine as more archways, you do find a trap of sorts. It seems to be again more crude nature. That's right. Come on, brain think. Seems to be a sort of pressure plate, a jerry-rigged pressure plate that seems to run to assumably some sort of trap somewhere in here. What exactly it would be, you're not sure. It's hard to determine without activating the trap.
And I disarm it?
Alright.
Or rather attempt to disarm it?
Yes. As said, it is a jerry-rigged. You were able to kind of figure out some sort of ropes that are kind of connecting it haphazardly to some points to other hidden areas. Nice. Oh no. Oh well. You successfully disarm it safely, being able to weigh down the rope at one other point and cutting it off from the pressure point. Did I cut it? Oh wait, that's right. There we go. Okay. And after doing so, you move in. You move in further. With to about two small kind of alcoves in this particular area. Finding several shells of clay pots and another alcove of what you can gather are some books. Other than that, there is nothing else at the moment.
What do you think?
See, let's search the area for anything hidden.
Okay. Searching.
Searching the. Oh yay, a decent roll. Tis a maison.
Okay, 1 second. Finally can hypothetically pull up the map. Okay, searching. Do you signal up for the others to follow
Once
up?
I disarm the trap, yeah.
Yeah, once you disarm trap. You will go. Do you about? Are you going to be lifting the clay pots and all sorts of stuff, or just kind of looking inside them, just slowly tipping them over and peering in? Just curious.
I will slowly tip to look in, and I'm not afraid to, and cautiously be lifting and moving stuff to see if it triggers anything.
Kanata, same as you?
Yes.
Right then. You both go. You're all going about slowly lifting it, curling it, poking a torch in every once in a while. Seems to be dust, a few trace items. This seems to have been a somewhat of a front storehouse a little bit, at least for bringing some kind of items to the people in the front keep area. You do see one pod that has been kind of popped at the bottom and with no contents in it. Some are a bit more foul smelling well, actually there is no smell because most of it is either petrified at this point or has become nothing. Books as well, extremely unreadable. Can't even tell what they were. Like, you can tell they were books, but other than that, no idea. Pages missing, covers missing. Other than that, nothing.
Okay. Oh are, unless you can find something. It looks like you were right. They were over here and didn't find anything interesting, assuming they were even over here to begin with.
Fair point. No, not that one. Shit. Trying to see if I can get these correctly done. Farm work. Alright. So, what would you like to do now?
Unless you guys can think of something for this particular room, how about, I believe, right was the other location?
Yep.
Alright. Yep, returning to the intersection. Yeah, checking it out. You fine. You walk. Len with a lead goes in. Seeing nothing so far. No detecting no traps. You come to a much larger room. Bit more spacious than the others that you've come into so far. This one is much more noteworthy, with several racks and shelves, clearly intent for holding weapons. Some null weapons actually now are placed here. It seems that they have cared somewhat, at least, for the prior weapons of the Mirage and took them for themselves. Swords, spears, there's even a handful of halberds still, a couple axes, maces, and in the kind of right corner, you see much more hypothetically more interesting items. Several boxes that seem to be closed up and kind of separated from the others. The boxes themselves are actually kind of like on the walls themselves, like elevated.
Okay. Well, you see there's also some on shelves. Do any of these look locked?
No.
Any emblems on them to have an idea of what they are, what they may contain?
You run your torch over it, trying to see the script itself. Does seem to be some sort of script. Um, again, you kind of get the gist of it because you slowly, inadvertently, somehow kind of get the dialect of this area, even after 1,000 years or so.
How's all my hit
D8?
die?
Ah, okay. Right, dialect. It seems to indicate something about magic. Some of it's been scrawled off. You do see claw marks along it, and other just wear and tear over the 1,000 years that has been here. But you do at least get that part of the script.
Well, the box says something about magic on it.
Well, check it out if you want.
What I would like to do is I would like to cast Detect Magic and look to see if I can determine what kind of magic is in or around the box.
Alright. Detect magic. Immediately pick magic from both boxes. They're about the size of almost shoulder width apart. Both of them. And as you focus more on it, the schools of magic actually vary.
Okay.
You were actually more of. Let me rephrase that. You sense multiple schools, multiple different schools of magic. In some that are the same, but have slightly different flavors to them.
Okay. But nothing looks like a magical trap or anything.
No.
Okay.
Actually, there does seem to be a soft, there is something of a lock, but it's kind of, it's very faint. It's more faint and has fairly more faint.
But I can't tell what kind of magic.
You can. It's just you kind of have to. It takes a couple more seconds to, after figuring out getting all the information from all the interweaving of schools and kind of focusing on it. Roll spellcraft for me, please.
My
Just to help with
my
it.
best skill ever. Okay, let's see how this goes. Spellcraft. In the fullness of time. There we go. Huh, 22.
Ooh, very nice. I'm going a cheap shot here for what school it would be. I believe it would be abjuration.
Okay.
It seems to be a actual lock. You can tell that it's, especially with the spellcraft check, it's not meant to harm anyone, but more of keep the box sealed.
It looks like there's a kind of lock spell on this box over here.
lock spell.
Yeah, it's designed to keep it closed. From what you're saying, Greg, I take it Kinara wouldn't know the name Knock, because it sounds like the Knock spell or the Arcane Lock spell.
Arcane Lock. Without spellcraft check, you do get a fee. I believe. Let me double check if that's even Arcane
I might
Lock.
be misremembering editions.
No, no, you're good.
Because I know some D&D magic, some GURPS magic, some
Right, yeah.
But yeah, it's with the way you described it, I wasn't sure if Kinara would know the actual spell name to say it.
Yes, you're actually able to. Hey, I was even right. It was abjuration. Woo. But yes, it is an arcane lock.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like there's an arcane lock on this box here.
Which, to my understanding, cannot be picked, because that's why it's magic. Well,
Yes.
I recently picked up this, trick that, after, while I was reading last night. Might as well give it a go. I'm gonna blow a third level spell. Dispel magic.
Alright. Fair enough. Instantaneous, one object. Just so you know, it is two different effects of Arcane Lock. So if you wish to do both, you would have to spend two different spells. Does that sound right, or do I have that incorrect?
Doesn't sound right, but I've heard of dumber things coming out of D20.
No, you're right. No, you're right. No, you're good. You're right. Only one. That's right. So, you cast the spell. You're like, can't lockpick. Watch this. And you do somatic hand signs for lockpicking, and with a distinctive with a small sound of essentially glass shattering, you see this small aura of magic just shatter from both of them, and you see the faint symbol of the Sentinels blink into and out of existence, also shattering along with the symbol, along with the spell.
And then I'll use my assisting mage hand to flip it open, just in case it feels like exploding.
Of course. You open them. Potions and wands.
Hey!
1,000-year-old potions.
I have to admit, I was expecting something to explode.
No, perhaps. Marsh speaks up. It could be. Well, as much as they keep it safe, I could see it being a just in case, for whatever reason. But that's not the point. You find. Let's see. Let's go with a. Between the two cabinets. Let's try that again. I can go with that. You find 3 cure moderate wounds. Let's see. 6 wand. Okay. Actually, let's go with. Looking at another one to kind of base this on. Three wands of burning hands. Two. Four wands of magic missile.
Oh, 4 1. You said 2, but you typed 4, so.
Yeah, I'm changing it to 4. Yeah, I'm changing it to 4. Magic missile. Two wands of haste. Well, is that? Do we have mass haste in this?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. Two wands of mass haste.
2 wands of haste and 2 wands of mass haste, or just 2 of mass haste?
Mass haste.
Mass haste.
Right,
I keep going back and forth. Apologies. Da, 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 da. And one wand of impact.
Ooh.
And do these guys have full charges, or?
Yes, full charges.
Yes, full charges. 15 charges each.
That was 15.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Double checking. You're probably correct.
Yep, 50 charges.
Yep, 50 charges. A good find, or
That's right, I'm going to be leaning heavily into wands in the future.
Good. Alright, and other than that, the armory is otherwise as stated.
Okay. can try the other hallway unless anyone has any thoughts.
Nope.
Mass haste. It'd be nice.
Well, don't forget.
This is essentially a citadel, so
In case they need to defend
in case they need to defend it,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Mass haste.
mass haste and impact weapons. Oof. Bad times for the enemy. Was really tempted of throwing gravity bow in there as well, but it's like, what the? Well, There was not gravity bow in there. They must have already used it. Okay, but you return to the main hallway itself.
Yeah.
By the sound of it. Okay. And I assume you're going to head down the last remaining way. All right. Making your way down. A rather empty hallway, but does seem to be much more lengthened. It does seem to jut out every once in a while to a smaller room of sorts, but the room is either caved in or mostly nothing in it, save for bedrolls by the look of it. However, as you head deeper through the hallways, when you get about 30-40 feet into the hallway from the main intersection, you start hearing ting 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 ting
Or give them the shush sign.
ting 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 ting,
Kind of as a din.
Can I roll stealth in case it's something that's getting closer to us?
Of course.
Of course, you may roll.
What's a mighty number? Is there a holder for like torches and stuff around that I can no wait, no, I had produced flame out. What's the torch? Shoot. In any case, I would like to let's say it's a torch. I'd like to place the torch in a nearby wall holder if there is one available.
Okay.
I mean, stealthing would be kind of sucky if I was holding this light of a beacon. Shh, I'm hiding. You're holding a torch. I can kind of see you. Shh, I'm not here. A wall.
I'm gonna use arcane augmentation to spend an arcane point to gain +5 to that stealth roll for a minute.
All right.
Excellent.
I'm finally getting to the point in Magus where I actually have things I can do with my arcane pool.
Other than just sit on it.
Yeah, because my archetype's kind of locked it down for a few levels.
Damn you, archetype! Okay, so you all stealth, kind of making your movements kind of quieter, I assume you're kind of getting near some rooms just in case you need to jump in there to hide from whatever's coming. Do you wait a moment to see if anything's coming?
Yeah.
You wait a moment.
Just hearing the constant.
Just hearing the constant ting 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 ting.
Does it sound like a forge or something to that effect?
You're familiar with the forge?
You're familiar with a forge? It isn't a forge, but there is some metal involved. Quick perception check just in case.
Another question would,
To see if you kind of
another
can
question would be,
discern.
is it getting louder like it's moving or is it stationary?
It is not.
It is not.
It is not moving?
Holy shit.
Holy shit!
You rolling epic levels, dare man.
You have that moment.
You have that moment from emptying your mind, like you might as well empty your mind from all this. Almost phasing, going with your hearing extending further and further through the darkness, through the hay, through whatever's left. You're able to hear to even the minute creak of a rope. But it's more than just metal striking something. It's metal striking stone and earth. You hear even the light panting of Noel, you assume. You figure it's mining.
I would like to say that Len now honorarily has real ears.
Huh?
You remember that joke Kinara's been mentioning that the other people don't have real ears? Because to him, his ears are normal and they have weird ears.
Janara is so racist.
Well, at least in that case, it's more like a thing of his people are physically different, so his normal is different.
Hey, you're the cat person. By all rights, you're the one who should have the amazing hearing.
That's my point. That's how you now honorarily have real ears. Okay.
But yes, you do not hear or sense a presence coming towards you. Merely the rhythmic and, well, somewhat rhythmic sound of mining. Every once in a while, you do hear like one of the miners go a bit more frantic. One of them stopping for a moment, and you hear heavier panting, but only for like 2 more seconds, and then going straight back at it. Especially with that 40, you can hear the desperation in that mining sound.
Well, nothing's passed yet. Should we get a bit closer?
Might as well.
Is there any kind of light source or anything like that down the hallway?
You can see a brief light, or a minor light, making it kind of dim lighting at this moment.
So if I don't move ahead with the torch, I should be relatively fine. I'm not in complete darkness. Okay.
Correct.
And I will not take the torch with me.
We need to get you goggles of dark vision, boy.
Yeah.
But yes, making your way towards the sound, it abruptly drops. Enough that you're able to stop yourself, obviously. But there seems to be a cave-in of the floor, and dropping to about. It doesn't even give it. Thanks, mate. It doesn't even give a drop. No. I'm gonna say about 20 feet down. You do see a couple lines of rope leading down as a haphazard climbing system to get up and down. And from your kind of perch, you can kind of peep in and see a few gnolls. They are just whacking. You can just see one or two, at least from your position, just whacking at the walls, just endlessly. And as you kind of was able to tell before, desperately only stopping for about 2 more seconds and then just keep on going. You do see how they're very, very weaker than the other gnolls that you've seen? As in they seem a little skinnier?
And this is something we notice, like, as we get closer?
Say again?
You said this is something we notice as we get closer?
Yes, you're able to just...
Yes, you're able to just perch at the hole if you so choose. Couple lines of rope leading down.
Okay, yeah, we can afford to get a bit closer then.
Alright. Are you gonna go down? Or are you just kind of hanging around and just watching them?
I will slowly start making my way down.
Alright. Still with the stealth check, I assume? You kind of slowly rope your way down. And are met with this scene. I will put your pog. You land about there-ish. You see about a dozen gnolls. But they don't seem to be paying attention to you. Though you do hear a kind of new sound now that you're kind of in the din of it. Off to this corner, you hear. When you peer in that direction, you see a gnoll, semi-crushed under a piece of rubble, trying to reach for something out of reach. The other gnolls are paying him no mind.
What does he appear to be reaching for?
It's kind of out of sight at the moment, but you can kind of see it. It's a little bit of cloth. You see a little cloth, and you think you see fur.
I will sneak on over there, I guess.
Trish, did you pick up your feet for our
Yeah,
ECR?
that's what I was doing just now.
Okay.
I have more meta magic. Hear me.
Okay.
Yeah, I said
Say
I've
again?
taken my feet for this level. It's like, yes, I have. I have more meta magic.
Oh.
Fear me.
Okay. Yep. More meta magic.
Okay. And due to the fact that this variable may affect things, just so you are aware, I have taken the sensitive whiskers feat. I gain the blind sensibility within 10. A 2 bonus to AC and reflexes against traps and hazards.
Ooh,
Note it's blind
very
sense,
nice.
not blind sight.
Blind sense.
Right, blind sense. More like tremor sense, kind of. Similar.
Yeah, it's like
That's essentially the airwaves.
As essentially the airwaves are hitting your whiskers and you're like, danger!
So now you're a real cat.
is it my
He's
Just
a
like
real
Alley Cat
kid.
2099, where you can sense shit around him because his hair feels it.
yeah.
Okay, I'm blowing another Arcana point for +5. That gives me a dirty 20.
That's right, you're 30 feet ahead, aren't you?
I
Okay.
do not know if the fact that I'm wearing all black and darkness makes a difference, but
Okay.
Okay. You all kind of watch Len as he slinks down the rope, pauses at the floor, and kind of moves over somewhat out of sight from the hole. Len, as you get closer, again, the knoll doesn't seem to notice you, but you see just how skinny this knoll is. It's disparaging, pretty much. Like, and you kind of see mats of fur kind of like shed off, and you can see the actual skin beneath. And as you get closer to see what he's trying to reach for, you notice the fur is his color, and oh gosh, those are his legs.
so yeah, he did.
He seems pretty much alive, so he's like,
David, do you want a cure moderate potion? Or should I just hang on to all three of them?
Look mode. I
are you standing to this
I
side,
some good
or
potions, you're good.
Probably up against the wall, trying to be hit. Use it as cover as much as possible.
I'm just trying to figure out.
I'm just trying to figure out where in proportion to him you are. Like his side, his diagonal.
I'm just trying to see if
what features you can see on his face and all
Probably
that.
as much as diagonal as possible.
Diagonal. Okay.
As much as you think you can get away with.
As much as you think you can get away with. Like, kind of as you're like taking a peek and see that his legs have been ripped off. He's like, oh gosh. You can kind of see his face. Sense motive, please, to kind of get a vibe for it. Because it strikes you as peculiar.
Sense motive. Okay. Not the best. Unless you roll a natural 19.
Okay.
You do have desperation.
In it.
And there is survival.
But it isn't trying to get his legs back to put him on. You look into those eyes and look into that mouth, and you see drool. You see hunger.
He wants to eat his own legs?
And you look into those eyes, and you see a very familiar
kind of bloodshot, almost yellowish discoloring.
Oh, shit.
That is sick.
Again, doesn't seem to notice you, just much like the miners, only stopping for a few seconds to catch his breath.
So
And then
this
scratching
dude is in
again.
a collapse. Buried in a collapse. Somehow his legs came off, and now he wants to eat them.
Yes.
So that's just nasty, and I don't care if he doesn't look like he's dying. I am putting his ass out of his misery because he probably just is in shock. So, like, can I, like, scooch into this corner here and, like, coup de grace? Is that an option?
Alright. Are you sure you want to do that? Well, use it. As you move closer,
I'm honestly not sure if I want to
kind
do
of
that, but I
behind
feel like
him.
it's, based on the current information, the correct thing.
Completely fair.
Because this dude has obviously lost it, and once the shock, based on your description, once the shock wears off, he's going to be feeling those legs that came off.
As more partial information as you
I think
can
the
kind
more
of
information
see.
here, yeah, be good.
Yeah. The information you kind of gather as you get very close, you're like, oh, I've got to put this guy out of his misery. You're like, oh, he's probably caught under a landslide of some kind. You notice only it's one piece of rubble that he's stuck under. As if he was, like, and you can even match the piece to where he was assumably thrown into a wall. And the blood has dried.
So he's been here a while.
Yes. You actually see days. You figure days. And he's still alive.
Okay, that screams magic. I don't know.
Like you kind of falter as you raise
Is that
Marco. You're like,
Arcana or spellcraft?
neither actually. Well, either or actually at this point, because it's kind of trying to figure out a effect that might be happening.
I will go with
So,
spellcraft,
either one.
'cause that's higher.
All right. You kind of think about it, you're like, okay, how is this sod still alive? And you vaguely recall that supposedly the Feast of Dust does technically make them kind of undead? Like, they technically don't die? Like, they die, but they also don't? It's this weird point where they're kind of... It's not stasis, per se.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
They're mostly dead.
They're mostly dead, but they're still barely alive. And kind of looking at the legs itself. Boy was ripped apart by something. That's pure force.
I will message spell up to the rest of the group. Let them know what the situation down here looks like.
The other gnolls do not seem to have noticed you. And neither has this one.
Let me see, do I have ranks in that? No, I don't. Can I make a general knowledge check? Or basically what I'm wanting to do is with this information, I'm wanting to think, why would they be mining, digging, hollowing out an area in a place like this? My first thought was maybe history, to see if there was some sort of like historical value, but wouldn't something like rumors fall under local?
Actually, I will just make it intelligence because it's trying to remember certain parts of information.
Okay.
Bonus of 5.
Kills. Stand by, there we go. That is including the bonus.
Okay. You do actually recall that there was a warlord here, no, Kraz. He was sent here by the Jackal Prince to find something. And the gnolls are technically under his command now. So you can kind of gather they're assumably trying to look for... He's got them looking for something. And also piecing together the key that you found, you can figure that it's a vault. That's the vault you're looking for.
I'm thinking the Jackal Prince controlling the gnolls might be... The only thing I can think of they could be looking for down here that needs digging would be the vault. I don't suppose your knowledge of dungeon-like architecture can be of any assistance here.
I don't know. Would dungeoneering or engineering apply in any way?
My thought with that was maybe like, I don't know which it would fall under, but the idea of having the idea of how fortresses or sub-levels are built, with an idea to kind of go, okay, a general place a vault would be like here, and thus looking around here we could...
I think that would be engineering more. Dungeoneering is trying to... Because engineering sounds like it's more trying to see the structure and be like, okay, where would they put it?
Holy fuck!
Trying to figure out where the vault would be, if that's the right information to get, yeah?
That's my suggestion anyway. Because that would tell us if they're even heading in the right direction, and possibly how close they are.
You kind of map the citadel in your head, you think about it, you're like kind of visualizing it. almost going full Batman 3D model.
Detective Vision?
Yeah, like, kind of almost Detective Vision, but more like a holocron, like new 3D. They don't seem too far off. If it would be around here, as like, okay, security measures, what they're trying to protect, you're assuming it would be in a sub-level. They're not probably too far off. They're probably digging in the right direction.
They're digging in the right place.
How far they are is the question.
They're digging in the right
Say again?
place. Oh yeah, I will relay that.
You did notice that some rooms kind of had minor digging spots, but had been abandoned.
Hold on, look at my languages. Actually, I already confirmed I do not know Null.
And Null is a separate language, apparently.
Yeah.
But they do assumably know basic.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe the, for lack of a better term, slave drivers or overseers might have been saying something useful by having him relay to me what they're saying. But if I don't understand their language, it's all Elvish to me.
You don't. Fair enough. You don't hear barking of instructions. I will give you that. You don't hear the incessant barking or any whips of specifically dig here or anything like that. You just hear the constant workforce.
In that case, because I don't see myself on the map, so I assume I'm slightly back because he went down.
Yeah, you're kind of like above again because it's they have ropes
Gotcha. In that case,
repel them
if
down.
my detect magic is still running, which I believe has a duration of several minutes.
Okay.
Do I see anything that would indicate, like, maybe some sort of telepathic spell or other kind of communication spell in effect that would be relaying instructions or, like, scrying or something?
No. You do not detect that. Though you do detect, at least for, like, the ones you kind of see and you can kind of feel other forces of it. You kind of sense the disease in the other ones. You're kind of inadvertently reaching out and being like, okay. You're like, telepathic? No. Disease. They're all diseased.
I shudder. That wasn't an unintended consequence. Okay.
It's the familiar disease of the Feast of Dust. You can definitely tell that now. You've been around it enough.
Okay. So they're heading in the right direction. And they're working for the Jackal Prince. Which... Okay, and I'm not detecting any magic on them aside from the disease itself. So these gnolls aren't under subjugation. It would be good. It would be easy enough to conclude that they're willfully working for the Jackal.
They are technically under subjugation, but not of magical form. You kind of get that feeling of, you get that vibe off them. Just seeing how desperate it is. And Mar will remind you that apparently a warlord came in and basically whipped them into shape. And actually had basically beaten the crap out of Jalkala and said, "You're mine now."
and so assumably they're just now a slave force.
So, Len, I got a pair of ideas here, as we are a bit better than them. We could try to knock them all unconscious and then continue on, or do you think there's enough cover that we could just sneak past to get to roughly where the vault is first?
I think there's a good chance we could sneak past, and I could probably provide a distraction or two. If you are feeling unlucky in your stealth.
Second is blessed with many things. Stealth isn't necessarily one of them.
It's not part of your cat-like grace.
Ooh.
It's all this sand.
Sand makes it easier to be stealthy. What are you talking about? It muffles everything.
Not when it's in your clothes.
As you are discussing this, Len, you do hear the desperate clawing of Stafflement, and you see that the Gnoll sees you. You legs, give me the legs.
I know this is desperate, but it sounds so funny.
He just rolls his eyes behind the mask while he's having this quiet conversation. Just kind of kicks them over, like this. This is disgusting. Kick.
Rich, you beat him late.
Starts ravaging it. Even more, you can feel Margot getting like, oh, Master, can I go in the sheath for a moment? I don't like that.
She's probably still in the sheath as far as that goes.
That's disgusting. Yeah. And like mid bites, like after doing that, like, you're not of Warlord's place. Who's you?
I'm nobody.
Hold on. You want to bluff him to make him think that you're not actually there?
Doesn't nobody? Well, nobody's thing helped me. Helped Verlet. You helped me feed. What you need?
Just directions. We're looking for the vaults, and not to for you to not let people know we're down here, because nobody's here.
You do know, so you are with Warlord.
Yep.
Oh, please, sir. Oh no. Please don't suck my Dargon Megan. Please no.
Not gonna hurt you.
Vault. Yes, Vault. Vault remembers. Vault remembers. There is Vault. That Queen has killed her Vault. Yes, and two others. Yes, other. Vote no. But Warlord, he angry. He's very angry. Night and day we dig. Night and day and night. We know not how many days it has been. But every day he gets more angry.
Why does he get more angry?
Because we cannot find the vault. No, wait, actually, hold on. Let me rephrase.
He's angry because we cannot find the keys. We try to find the keys to the vault, but we cannot. One moment.
I'm going to be hitting my caster spell stat limit soon. Like, I'm not sure if you've been following it, but the entire thing where you can only know spells equal to, in my case, wisdom plus spell level. So if it gets above what your score is,
I didn't know there was a limit to how many you could know.
it's more like capability of casting. I'm surprised that your class doesn't have anything like that.
I didn't see anything like
Wait,
that.
what?
To prepare a
Wait, what are you
caster
talking
spell,
about?
in my case, cleric, must have a wisdom score equal to at least 10 plus spell level. I wasn't sure if the Magus has anything like
So
that.
I need to.
Wait,
I need
what?
to have, so 10
Wait,
plus
what?
spell
Wait,
level.
wait,
So
time out,
spells
time out,
cap at
time out.
9, so you have to have a wisdom score of 19 or higher to cast it.
Right.
Where are you getting
What?
this information?
Where are you
It's
getting
under
this
class
information?
features. You telling me your wisdom's less than 19?
Oh yeah, my wisdom's less than 19. I mean, I can cast.
That's right.
I
You're a charisma-based cleric.
Well, my other thing deals with charisma, but some things of cleric do factor into charisma.
Right. That's right, 'cause-
My entire thing hasn't been shifted.
yeah, I don't have to worry about that because my intelligence is 20.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were aware of that thing, and I wasn't aware of what your stats actually
Yeah,
were.
I was aware. I was aware that there was a minimum stat you needed to be a caster,
Yeah.
but I have never heard of anybody hitting it because anybody I know who's ever played a caster made their highest stat their casting stat to avoid that.
Now, I haven't hit it yet, but it's something I will be hitting.
No, it is
With me,
wisdom.
it is wisdom. Things like my
What?
channel are based off of my charisma.
Yeah. Cleric is a weird one where they do a little bit of both.
No. No. That is. That seems silly. Like, I can kind of get it, but it's also
Honestly,
like.
I get that more for
what?
things like wizards that have to, like,
I look at.
super study stuff.
I feel like it's a mechanical explanation for why you don't have a world populated with like 9th level spellcasters.
That's true. They could be, like, super in tune, in this case, like, with their god, but only able to do so much.
Because if you're an NPC priest, even if you're the fucking pope, you probably only have a score of like maybe 16.
Yeah. Like usually,
So this gives you a mechanical explanation of why you don't have a world populated full of level of 9th tier NPC spellcasters everywhere.
I say usually I max out my casting
True.
thing too, but
Yeah.
I didn't this time.
It's
which
just
is why I
something.
brought it
It's
up.
just something that never comes up for players because all players maximize their.
Wow.
I think the only time I've heard of it being actually a factor is for some conversions I've seen of like characters from animes that were based on D&D games. Like Parn from Record of Lodoss War is considered a paladin, but because his casting stat is below the minimum number, he can't cast spells. Which explains why you see him never throw any spells in the series. And there's a couple others like that, where it's like they're technically a spellcasting class, but they can't actually use spells because their stats are too low.
Still,
though, I do find that, like, wait, what? Like, as you probably heard my voice, I have never come across this.
It's like,
or
yeah,
I've
it's
probably
like
never
you probably
noticed.
will never hear of it again. Because, again, most people don't have to deal with it, but it's technically there.
Yeah, because
the thing is, it's a wisdom.
And the thing is, it's a wisdom thing and not a charisma,
Well, yeah, it's
especially for
whatever your
cleric.
spellcasting stat is.
right.
It's just, in David's case, with the archetypes he chose and stuff, some of his stuff is charisma-based and some of it's wisdom-based and all that.
Oh, my Lanta.
But
Okay, well, I do have to get going, because I do have to get to the meeting. We will pause here with you talking to Vult Volte or Volt.
That guy.
Talking a vault about vault. And for now, I'm gonna say ignore that rule because that's I don't know. Like
Okay.
that's stupid. We'll burn that bridge when we get there. But yeah,
See ya.
take care.